said, man, yeah, because someone talking to Robin Williams, man. I'm talking to Robin Williams, man. We got to keep the air cool, so we need alternative fuel, man. You see, we got all these guys rolling around, man. Everybody's like on top of it, man. We got all kinds of people driving around. It's like, man, they're going to corporate meetings and stuff, making plans, you know, all kinds of stuff. Now look at here. We put a light on the subject. They got a light like pointing at the building, man. Isn't it supposed to point down at the parking lot? He says, no, man. There's like a light pointing at the building, making sure we light up that sign. It says Sky Harbor, man. You see Sky Harbor? Now I want to tell you about Sky Harbor, man. Sky Harbor is very important. They do like some top secret stuff in there, man. I can't really tell you because you know, some people don't have the clearance for it, but I can tell you, man, some transformer stuff happening in that warehouse, man. Look, we got a girl over there, man. She's on the phone talking to somebody. It's like, man, Captain Kirk's down here at it again, man. I said, tell you what, you see the Bumblebee, man? Bumblebee is right there in the parking lot, okay? And that really, you know, that Bumblebee guy is probably in there. It could be me. I mean, I don't know. We put a Bumblebee car there because, you know, the market is just, it's Sky Harbor, okay? I don't know what they're doing there, man. Let's see, we got Harris Flight Training, man. Oh, is that the L3 Harris Flight Training? Yeah, man. In Priority, you know, aviation. We got a corporate aircraft maintenance, man, at Sky Harbor Aviation. You know, but we got an airport exit St. John's Bluff Road, you know. So he says, I'll tell you what, if we could get this off the ground together, man. I hear it, man. I can't see it. Oh, wait. There's a jet over there you can't hear. And there's a loud, noisy plane over here as you can, man. There it is, right there. See, I got my combat earplugs in, so if I take one out, I could hear a little better. So I could hear that plane over top of my combat earplugs. So you're going to hear that, and you know when it's coming. So we got to do some better research, man. Why? Because we're not combating each other, man. We're combating having more of this. We need to have more of that, you know? I'll tell you. Let me tell you about this flight control tower over here. Huh? Hey, look, I'll walk it out for you, man. You need a way? Here, I'll show them, man. I ride a bike. I drove a car. I took a U-Haul. I took a boat. I flew like an alien angel off a motorcycle at 55 miles an hour, man, into a semi-truck. Then a guy says, man, travel through time. I need another angel there. Boom. They show up. They pick me up, throw the bike over the guardrail on the side of the road, and say, man, you landed in grass, man. That's good graces. So I wake up, I look out on the road, there's a car, it spun sideways, man. I'm like, man, it's a real fast car. Guy's standing, he's dusting my shoulders off. He says, man, they're gonna say you've been drinking. I was like, what do you mean? Well, if we get those people in the desert working together, they're gonna say they've been drinking water because they got a moisture and humidity, man. I said, what are we gonna do with this flight tower stuff? I says, I don't know, man, let me get over there a minute. Let me walk over here. I gotta see what's in this building, man. It used to be something else. You know, I got a lot of truckers out there right now delivering supplies. They used to have this stuff on the side of the truck, but they just painted over it, man, and covered it up. This used to be something, man, but we're going to make it something else out now. It says, man, what are we doing? Look, there's a guy. He's moving in the tower right now, man. I don't know what they're doing, man. They got all these planes moving around and stuff, man. It's like, whew, man, what are you doing? Look, I got an aviation authority here, man. That's some real Star Trek, Star Wars stuff. Look, that's part of the space wing, man. There's one wing there, man. We got a blue, a brown, and a green. They're turning the world upside down, too, man. Need some water on that? We got some grass on the ground. We got a lot of heat under there, man, in the middle of the earth, man. Hey, we don't want that lava exploding up and melting all the stuff off the core of the face of the earth, man. Well, we got some of that out there, the sunshine, man. You guys want to know about nuclear physics, man? I'll tell you what. You ever been to an aviation, you know, landmark? What's the aviation landmark? I don't know, man. I said don't let them destroy our landmarks. Well, let's tell them what we mean, man. Hey, we got an ATP flight training school right here, man. You want epic fuels, man? We're looking for alternative fuels, man, and lightweight aircraft research, man. We're going to try and slingshot something off of a naval aircraft carrier. And we want it to land real nice and sweet in the middle of a desert. You know, I got a problem with sending all these experiments up to space, man. And then they drop them down like parachutes. What are you doing? We need a new contest, man. We need like an Olympic sport, man, for brains. I tell you what, man. You see, like a boomerang. We need something to go up like a boomerang and like a arch of the rainbow or the promise of God with supplies on it. We need those weird, crazy, freaky, you know, four-eyed glasses, geek, nerd kids and adults and teenagers to work together and figure out some kind of program, man. They could put together, and we'd take of that. That's the contest, man. Who's got the best plan? We'd take of this, we'd take of that, and we'll put it on top of a naval aircraft carrier. And a sea like this, you know, like we're playing tennis across the court. What did I tell you? 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 You know, and they put it on top of the aircraft carrier, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to take those supplies, and what we do, one of those scientist people at NASA is going to come up with a number and say, this is how much this weighs. I need to take this weight and put it in an experimental aircraft that's a lightweight, okay? You know, not like this. You see, we've already got those. See the guy on the runway? He's like, we can land these. You see the Cessna? We can land these, man. What we need is, we need an experimental cargo aircraft. Put the weight in there. We'll put it on top of an aircraft carrier with a short runway to make the math really hard to do, so we can really put our heads together. And then we're gonna put it on an aircraft, and we're gonna like a slingshot, man, like for Top Gun 2, man. We're gonna pull back on it, and we're gonna, and then it's gonna, and one of the star bases in the middle of the desert. You know what I'm saying? And then what we're gonna do is, we're going to set it up where when you come into the airport, right, and we're going to train for that, you put it into the training, the pilot instructor goes, okay, look, I know we just got done doing all the training with pointing and guiding the wind so we get different conditions that we can fly through and stuff. But what I need you to do now is, I need you to call the airport and tell them we're going to be landing. And what they're going to do is you say, hey, I need to land. We're coming in, and they come up with some kind of cool Star Wars language, man. And it says, hey, I'm landing Starbase. And they go, all right, I'm landing Starbase. They say, okay. If the conditions of natural wind and stuff are good, they put the pyramids away, you know? Now, if it's not good, you know, then they say, hold on, we got to do a little stuff. Now, remember I told you I was going to tell you about the wind socks? Look, there goes my chopper, man. Hey, man. I'm putting this together. I'm doing telepathic talk with an alien right now, man. That's an angel in the sky right there. You know? So I'll tell you about the windsock, man. I asked the guy, the instructor's like, hey, man. You know, I'm like, so I taught him, he didn't know what I was talking about at the time, but he does now. And he's like, man, this is some really cool stuff. I says, man, and he started talking to me. I'm like, man, that's some really cool stuff. He says, man, you like a Top Gun? I said, yeah. He says, man, I'm going to land this Cessna like Top Gun for you. He come down, man, I tell you, like a one wheel, man. He was like, you remember the Top Gun? He's like, man, but he didn't say it out loud. He's like, you remember the Top Gun? I was like, he says, watch this. He come down. He's like, one wheel. He's like, two wheel. He's like, three wheel. You know what I mean? So I tell him, I says, hey, they got wind socks, man. He's like, yeah. I says, how are you supposed to see that in the dark? He goes, they light up, man. I was like, the wind socks light up? He goes, yeah, they light up. I says, no, you don't understand. The wind socks, plural, man, like e pluribus unum. Out of one idea came many, you know? So I says, man, I got a windsock, right? Say I got a post over there, man. I got this little secret agent over there in the woods. They're standing behind the building. He's like, hey, can you look over here? I'm like, man, I'm looking. He's like, man, I'm over here by the building. Can you look at this pole? Okay, I need you to tell him about that windsock and use this pole to do it. Okay, so we're in between. God's dividing the waters, and like everybody's working together, and they're like, hey, we told everybody. I told you. Now pay attention. We got a sock, a windsock here, windsock here, windsock here, windsock here, windsock here, right? And it show you if you got any kind of crazy stuff, right? So what you do is you break it apart and you say, I need a football goal at the top of that thing, man. A football goal, yeah, man. You seen those radio towers, you know, they got like this, and you see those other radio towers, they got like this in different areas. Well, just like the radio waves are coming in different ways, right? You used to see those towers, man. They had the little fork things on them, you know. You ever seen those towers that had the little fork things on there, you know, like a this, you know. You know. We're trying to triangulate here. So you put a windsock. You come up, windsock, come up a little higher, a different level, go out and up, windsock, you come up, go out and out a little bit, windsock, and then on the other side of the landing strip, you do the same thing. So you can see what kind of conditions you got by looking at the multiple windsocks that are lit up with different colors, sort of like miniature runway lights in the air at the end of the strip, and then you got the little line, hey, we drew a line in the sand and said, here's the sand. We don't want the dry stuff coming over here and taking all the moisture. So what we're going to do is we drew a line in the sand and said, we're not going to play tug of war. We're going to figure out how to launch over that and put water so we can plant trees and grass and all that stuff. And then we got a windsocks to do studying. And you got the little pyramid stuff, and then look at that and trying to measure it, you know. And then what you do is you put a couple towers like maybe like halfway down and at the other end and at the beginning. So you got a 1, 2, 3, and then hey, don't do that aside, man. Block it off. 1, 2, 3, and you can see, you know. And then in the middle, like, whoa, you go, man. I can take the barometric pressure readings and wind readings and stuff with that. Yeah, man, like some scientific, real space age stuff, man. And you go, man, that's pretty cool. It says, well, you know, I'm talking to the tower right now, and the tower's like, hey, man, this is what I need. Can you tell those people what we need? You know, we're in this tower. We're talking to these people all the time, man, and they're not listening. And we're like, man, how are we supposed to run the operations tower without any equipment, you know? I mean, come on, can you build us some space stuff? We're trying to build a star base here.